Hey guys, and welcome to my newest data pack. I'm so excited to show this to you because I'm working on this for quite a while now. As you already saw, the data pack is titled Sorcery, so essentially it adds magic to your Minecraft world. So let's get started with the features. Now, once you installed this data pack, one of the first things you will find are falling stars. Those randomly spawn in the overworld and can be harvested by simply collecting them. Also, if you have Optifine installed, make sure to check dynamic lights, because if you do so, the stars will actually glow and are much easier to spot. So by collecting a star, you will be granted with somewhere between 5 to 8 Stardust. Stardust can be used for various different cauldron recipes. The first one you will want to make is Mana Brew. Mana Brew is made with 3 Stardust, 1 Nether Wart and 1 Lapis Lazuli. From here on you have various different options. You can collect Mana Brew in a bottle, which will restore your mana, but more on that later. You can drop a diamond in it to create a mana diamond, which is used for various different crafting recipes. And finally, and this is also what you will want to make first, you can drop a crafting table in it to create an altar. The altar is basically the crafting table for the whole data pack. You can make tools, wands and some other items in it. But it has another feature too. The crystal on the altar will glow if a star is nearby, so this makes it insanely easy to find new Stardust. By the way, I also added advancements, so if you want to know how any of the recipes work, just hover over the item you want to make. For the first recipe, let's start with something cool, the Netherpearl. This is basically a portable gateway to the Nether. It is great for traveling vast distances. Simply teleport to the Nether, walk a few blocks, teleport back and look where you are. The Netherpearl can also be used to create something even more powerful, the magic compass. Each player who owns a compass can set one location by sneaking and right-clicking. This location gets saved, so if you want to go back to it, simply right click and it will take you back where you set it. Keep in mind that this is the first item which will actually drain your mana, so each teleport will cost you 30 mana. The default mana level is 60 and it will regenerate on its own, but the more you drain it, the slower it will regenerate. One way of increasing your mana is by getting lucky. Witches now have a new drop, their head. So the head of a witch can actually boost your mana to a level of 90. Speaking of mana, let's create the most important item in this data pack, the wand. The wand is easy to make, simply use sticks in combination of a mana diamond and the wand is yours. We don't have any spells yet, so before we can actually use magic we will need to craft a book of knowledge. Each spell comes with its own potion, so if you want to create the fire spell for example, you will need 4 fire potions to craft it. So let's get started with the fire one. For Ignis you need to create fire brew. Simply throw 1 stardust, 5 blaze powder and 1 magma cream in a filled cauldron and that's it. Collect it by throwing a bottle in it and here we have fire brew. Fire brew will ignite everything it hits. It's straightforward, so let's get to the actual spell. Craft the knowledge as I showed you before and right click it to learn it. Once you learned the spell, you can sneak right click to change them. The fire spell works like a flamethrower. It is short ranged but is effective against almost every mob. Except for witches, those don't really care about anything I guess. It can also smelt ice and snow as you can see here. Next we have Glaciers, the ice spell. It can be created using Icy Brew, which needs 1 Stardust, 8 Snowballs and 4 Ice Blocks. So you will need a Silk Touch pickaxe to get it. Icy Brew is basically the opposite of Fire Brew. It creates snow and ice and will freeze any mob it hits. Similar to the fire spell, Glacius is crafted with 4 Icy Brew. Glacius can shoot freezing beams to freeze enemies for some time and can freeze water to pass it. It has much more range than the fire spell, but isn't that strong compared to it. It is also cheap in mana use since it uses only 5 mana per beam. Let's get to one of my favorites, Aria's the Air Spell. Before you can make the potion, you will need to create a golden feather. While you are holding a golden feather, you won't take any fall damage anymore. And as I mentioned, it is also used for some recipes. 1 Stardust, 1 golden feather and 3 flints will create Thunder Brew. And by its name you can probably guess what it does. It's thunder in a bottle. Making yourself the spell, on the other hand, will give you the ability to fly. It has a mana use of 10, and with each click it will boost you in the air until you slowly hover down. The hover effect will end when you hit the ground or can be cancelled by sneaking, but keep in mind that you will take fall damage if you cancel it in the air. Next up is Terra, the Earth spell. The potion of it, which is created using 1 Stardust, 1 Netherite scrap and 4 clay, will create a hole in the ground which stops when it hits air or bedrock. So it's perfect for finding caves. Terra uses 8 mana per use and is perfect for strip mining. It's a pretty straightforward spell since it breaks a 3x3 grid of blocks. Here we have Ender, the, well, Ender spell. Make yourself the potion with 1 Stardust, 1 Enderpearl and 4 Chorus Fruits and you have the perfect item to troll your friends. Ender Brew will teleport you somewhere random around 10 to 200 blocks away. Using the Ender spell will completely grant you the power of teleport. Simply look wherever you want and press right click to teleport. The mana use of the spell is 16, so it's the second most expensive spell of them all. The last spell is very hard to obtain. It is called Malum and is the strongest of them all. To obtain it, you need a lot of luck, since you need cursed souls. Those are drops from a new mob which I added, the Dark Mage. The Dark Mage is, as I said, a very rare mob. He has a chance to appear if you use too much magic. He's also fairly strong since he uses the Malum spell, which is a spell purely dedicated to damage dealing. Killing it can grant you 2 different drops, the mentioned Cursed Soul and the Sorcerer's Hat. The Sorcerer's Hat will boost your mana to 120, which is the maximum amount you can get in this data pack. The Cursed Soul as well as 1 Stardust, 3 Bones and 3 Spider Eyes are used to create Cursed Brew. This potion can curse players and entities and will have random effects. You could get struck by lightning, or randomly freeze for example. If you manage to obtain 4 of those, you can make the strongest spell in the data pack. Malum has a mana use of 20 and does 12 damage as well as giving your enemies the wither effect. All of those 6 spells are losable though, since dying will actually take your spells from you. There's a way to bind them to you though, using the Soulbound Amulet. Having this in your inventory will prevent you from ever losing those. The Golden Feathers have one more crafting recipe, the Boots of the Traveler. Those boosts will grant you a speed boost whenever you sprint. Keep in mind that those are still leather boots though, so you'll probably want to enchant them since they are fairly expensive. There's even more though. Mana diamonds can be used to create Manatools. They're made of diamonds still, so I decided to not touch their properties, but all of them have magic effects. The axe, for example, has a timber mod, so harvesting wood will actually break the whole tree. Also notice how it has the mana magnet, an ability which will teleport all the items to you. The pickaxe got this ability for ore veins, the shovel for various different earth blocks, and the hoe for, well, crops. The sword on the other hand was difficult, so I decided that the sword will give you a strength and haste effect whenever you kill something. But be careful when you craft those, we don't want something like this to happen. Let's make a pickaxe. You can also easily repair all of the mana items, just drop them in Mana Brew and they are repaired. Last we have the Magic Shield, an item which will blast all your enemies away when you block with it. And it's literally so much fun to watch. Before we end the video, I got some functions to tell you. If you just want all the items, type in /function sorcery give. This will also clear your items, so keep in mind that you have all your valuable items stored somewhere. The function sorcery learn all will grant you all the spells without even having the need to use the knowledge book. So if you like this data pack, consider leaving a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I guess that's it for today, so see you in the next one. Bye!